What's good with YouTube? This your boy CJ Sinclair.
And this your girl RINA.
Make sure y'all subscribe to CJ and RINA. Alright, today we're at a reaction video on Star Spangled Banner.
Stand or kneel.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe below so y'all don't miss any more videos. I know y'all ready. I'm ready. You ready? Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
American Star Spangled Banner. Do you stand or do you kneel?
Do you stand or do you kneel? Which one? Stand. Here we go.
3 teens were arrested today for defacing the Kensington Park War Memorial overnight. The destruction includes painted messages against the military and the war in the Middle East. The 3 teens were picked up in the early morning hours after evidence was left at the scene.
Don't tell me that's the teens.
Grandpa, something wrong?
Some people sure have short memories, and those who are too young to know need to be taught. Come on, I want to show you guys something.
Grandpa about to show them. Welcome, veterans.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941.
World War II, I guess.
A date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
At dawn on the morning of the 6th of June, 1944, 225 Rangers jumped off the British landing craft and ran to the bottom of these cliffs.
Put the American flag up.
225 came here. After 2 days of fighting, only 90 could still bear arms. These are the boys of Puente Loco.
Oh, yeah, you finally paying attention. Okay.
Who took the cliffs. These are the champions who helped free a continent. These are the heroes who helped end a war. You are men who in your, quote, lives fought for life and left the vivid air signed with your honor.
In the name of God and country, I learned to defy gravities. To honor my family, I lived in the belly of a beast.
I fixed the hearts of iron monsters. I became a worm in the mud for dignity, for honor, for righteousness' sake, for God and country.
I fought for you.
I fought for you. For you. I fought for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
Wow.
I fought for you.
For you.
For you.
For you.
For you. I fought for you. I fought for you. I fought for you, and I do it again.
The Marine cover.
What your country can do for you, and what you can do for your country.
Baby, where you at? You're missing out.
We salute the brave men and women who have sacrificed so much for our freedom. All great sons from Big Ball.
Yes. Beautiful.
Do you know how blessed you are to have gotten up this morning and breathed your first breath of American air? We live in the greatest country God ever let me create, so would you rise and remove cover? Let's honor this land and not forget about those who have fought and died to provide us with the liberty and freedom that we all cherish.
we didn't earn those chairs. Your talent didn't earn those chairs. How tall you are,
That's
and
how
how
you're
fast
supposed to be
you run,
standing in football.
how well you shoot, didn't earn those chairs. Me draw up a play, me recruit real hard, me work real hard, I didn't earn the chair. These guys, when they were your age, interrupted their life. They paused their education. They changed their career. And they gave their life for those chairs. And so when the anthem is played, we're going to stand like grown men, and we're going to honor men like this that gave their life so we can have a chair to sit in.
Wow.
And in the 2.5 minutes that the song is played and somebody sings it or the music is played, we're going to stand at attention in honor of these men. Because that freedom allows us to do what we're doing. I don't care if you sing, but I want you to know the words. And I want you to be respectful of the words. Because those words represent people's lives. And all that we're thinking about is these men who earned the right for these chairs to be here.
To those that have served our country, thank you. Kneel.
Okay, now this is the kneel.
So this guy is a football player, I'm told. I'm not a sports guy. And he's been making a lot of headlines by refusing to stand during the national anthem. In interviews, he said the protest is to take a stand against police brutality. Is he right? Is he wrong? We're not getting into that. But a few days into that controversy, an article started getting passed around on Facebook that sparked a separate controversy over whether the Star-Spangled Banner is racist. The article, written by Josh Schwartz for TheIntercept.com, points specifically to this line. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. Now, if you're saying to yourself, I've heard the national anthem before and I don't remember there being a bit about slaves, that's because what we think of as the national anthem is actually only the first verse of the national anthem. The national anthem is actually 4 verses long based on a poem written by Francis Scott Key called The Star-Spangled Banner. The rest of the poem is largely about the American flag flying over a fort after a battle and using that image as a symbol for the resilience of the United States of America. So why does the poem stop to take a hard left turn and do a quick touchdown dance around the idea of running down and murdering slaves? For some context, we'll have to explain a little bit about what was happening at the time. The poem, The Star-Spangled Banner, was written during the War of 1812, or as most history classes build it, the Revolutionary War Part II. This time, the reasons are murkier. The US said it was started because Britain kept harassing their ships and trying to impose trade restrictions. Britain says it was started because the US wanted to make a land grab for their colonies in what is now Canada. Either way, in July of 1812, the US declared war and Britain was not prepared for this. While they had some troops to defend their colonies in North America, the bulk of their force was spread halfway across the world, engaged in a battle with this guy. Since that wasn't going away for a few years, Britain bolstered their North American force by basically teaming up with anyone who had a beef against the US. That includes militias from their northern colonies, Native Americans, or even using impressment, which is basically capturing Americans and forcing them to fight for the crown. And British forces quickly realized another group of Americans that might have a pretty good reason to want to defect: slaves. So as British ships raided US towns, they basically put out the word that any slave that made it into British hands would be free men. And they kept their word. Thousands of slaves escaped and were resettled in British territories, and a few hundred even agreed to join the fight against the US. By 1814, things were going relatively well for Britain. British forces managed to get all the way to Washington and burn the White House to the ground. But when they made their big push for Baltimore, there was a hiccup. The British fleet attempted to barrage Fort McHenry, and the fort held. That bought the people of Baltimore enough time to set up defenses for the British attack. Francis Scott Key bore witness to the battle. He was being held on a British ship, negotiating for the release of American prisoners. Once he was released, he wrote the Star-Spangled Banner based on what he'd seen during the battle. The bit about the hirelings and slaves was sort of talking smack about how the people who teamed up with the enemy got beat down. So there's almost certainly a racist component. Throwing in a jab about how you beat someone down for having the audacity to not want to be owned by you certainly isn't great. Unfortunately, if you put even a shallow amount of research into early American history, you're going to find a lot of people who are racist, because Back then, most people were crazy racist. Francis Scott Key, the author of the poem, was also a prosecutor who tried to get a guy hanged for having in his possession a pamphlet that said maybe enslaving human beings isn't the best thing in the world. I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you this, but the authors of the Constitution were mostly slave owners. I mean, the guy who wrote the Pledge of Allegiance also wrote a little piece about the dangers of mixing with, quote, the inferior races. These guys were alive in the slave-owning United States. That's the culture you're pulling from. So there's your answer. Is the national anthem racist? The poem it was based on does have a racist component to it, because everything back then did.
Okay, I mean,
back then people did own slaves.
yeah, back then it was about slaves, but I don't see too much of how the anthem is racist though. It's.
I mean, maybe we still need to indulge more on the parts that are racist. I mean, people kneel for a reason. I mean, we need to know the history of it.
I mean, they kneel for a reason, but also they kneel for no reason at all. Because if you look at it, the anthem is not going nowhere. You never get rid of the flag. Doesn't matter how people kneel or whatever they do.
I mean, it's not getting rid of the American flag because the American flag represents the 13 colonies.
And if we are American, we are American. I don't even see more of the way of trying to make it seem racist because either way it go, growing up, you was.
We don't know what we was taught, to be honest, because at the same time, you wasn't really taught the national anthem. You was just told, hey, sing this.
Yeah, we never was taught the national anthem except when we actually heard one of them that actually sounded really good, and then we heard another verse of sounding racist. So it's like it got two sides of what it really is, which nobody can never really say what it is because the only people that can really say if it's a racist song or not is the people who actually wrote it, and they're dead. So.
But if more people stand up, then maybe they will eventually change the national anthem.
I don't think if you stand up to a song that's a national anthem that been here over decades, they're gonna change.
I mean, that's just saying like racism
so you think
will never be ended.
It sound like you trying to agree with the football player. He the only one that did it, and people starting to copy him because of why he didn't even. I never listened to the reason why he actually did it. Besides of saying the national anthem is racist now. But I mean, either way it go, it's like you can't take it back. You already put your hand on your chest for however long you've been growing up in school, singing the national anthem, and all of a sudden, one person says a racist song. Now it's like, oh my God, is it racist? Was it racist the whole time? It doesn't matter. You already did it. It's not going nowhere, so.
I mean, that's just like you're just now finding out something. What did you really know about the national anthem? That's
I did.
My point exactly.
You didn't know anything, but you still not gonna go against something that you've been doing the whole time. It's like now it's like pointless. If you knew it from the beginning, you would have known what you was doing, right?
But that makes no
sense.
sense.
Yes, it does. Because if you didn't know what you was doing from the beginning, right?
Okay.
And you still was doing it.
Okay, that's just
now,
like
either way it go, even if it was good or bad, you didn't know what you was doing, but you still was doing it. So it's like you was dead in the field of gloriness of doing something because you thinking like that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Okay.
No, let me finish. You thinking about something that you're supposed to do.
Okay.
If you're thinking about that's something you're supposed to do, if you didn't know, and now you know, you can't change what you already did because that's the past. So you can't just go against something now because somebody said that song been racist. How long it took that person? I guarantee you that same person that was on the football field, he was on the same
Colin
exact
Kaepernick is his name.
Whatever. Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick.
Whatever his name is. He made it feel like that way until something else happened. I don't know what happened.
Something that transpired and he realized what it was. I mean, even as children, you are taught something, but as you get older, your mind may change. That's just like when you're a child, you're taught to believe in God. When you get older, some people may not believe in God anymore. I mean, think about it. Think about it.
Either way it goes.
So you can't say
anything. No, you think about this. You can't add God and a flag to this. You cannot do that. The flag actually.
How? They talk about God in the flag.
Hold on, be quiet. The idea of it is they never said God made the flag. No, they blessing you. They giving you the blessings in God's name, right? That's a whole difference. You can't just come out and say, oh, well, now the flag is against everything.
We're one nation under God, no matter how you look at it. So most people probably don't even believe in the flag because they don't believe in God.
Okay, check this out though. Either way it goes, the flag is here.
It's not even a flag, it's the national anthem.
All right, the national anthem and the flag is here.
Okay.
God.
Why do you think some people burn the flag?
Hold on. Let's get it. God is there.
Okay.
Right? The national anthem and the flag is here. Right?
But they speak about God.
Exactly. Right?
Okay.
So why get rid of something that you will believe in? If this flag is dedicated towards God, right?
Okay.
Why get rid of something? It's like that person that went on their knee is like, I don't believe in God. But everybody have their different ways of saying it. They saying it's for God, right? Some people say the flag is for God because they say under God, right? Mm-hmm. And if you believe in God, you ain't got a problem with the flag.
It's not entirely about God.
But if you believe in God, you got a problem with the flag, right? But if he went on his knee, how you know they ain't saying kneeling down to the devil?
It's believing in what's right and what's wrong.
That's
just like you're saying right now. If we was to go back into slavery days, you'll be, oh, yes sir, master, I'll pick your cotton for you.
Man, you can't. It's like you still trying to vice versa everything. You can't say we're gonna go back to slavery times or anything. I'm just saying the idea of the national anthem is not going nowhere.
It's like you're
all right. No, let me finish what I'm saying. Stop agreeing. Stop interrupting me when I'm talking. If I say this is exactly what it is. The national anthem is not going anywhere. It doesn't matter how people get on their knees. No matter if they burn it, it's not going anywhere. Nowhere. Even if it's racist or not.
So basically, you're telling me that you agree to people being taken against
You can't
their
agree.
will.
You can't agree to nothing because you don't even know what the flag is representing. Besides what we're learning now.
Yeah, you don't know what it represents either. So how do you truly?
How do we know if on the knee or standing is two different things? How you don't know? Either way it go, one is representing God because the flag talks about God, right?
Okay.
Being on your knee, how you know they ain't representing the devil?
How is being on your knee representing the devil?
Answer the question. Do you know the difference?
What they got to do with the
devil? Do you know the difference?
No.
Exactly. Me neither.
So how can you incorporate the devil because somebody went on their knee? Because they're taking a stand against something.
All right. If you take a stand against, that's like taking a stand against God. Correct?
How so?
Because if God is the flag, you taking a stance under the flag, right?
But a lot of people don't even believe in God. What about those people?
All right.
They automatically don't believe in the national anthem.
Well, I spoke my point. You spoke your point. We're going to let them actually give their comments. Give your comments below, subscribe, and also tell us everything that you think about this conversation that we had to see who's right, who's wrong. Like always, guys, also,
make sure you guys subscribe to Clara's YouTube channel, which in a few is going to be changing.
Like always, guys, peace.
Bye.